It's been a long while, hasn't it? And yeah, I'm already going to make landfall to Mossdeep, and the next part is going to be rather complicated in terms of me actually LPing, because there are so many things to do that I want to talk about. There's, of course, the traditional little marathon debriefing. There's also everything that's come up in Korokoro the week before the marathon. There's also the rumors that Pokebeach sparked that I want to cover. No thanks, I'm going to pass on Dynamic Punch. Because, especially since No Guard didn't exist at the time, Machamp only had Guts, so yeah, I'm going to pass on Dynamic Punch for now. But yeah, what's going to make this next part especially difficult to handle is that on top of everything I want to talk about, I'm going to have to visit Mossdeep, the gym, the Space Center, and after that it's going to be the Reggies, so I'm going to be going on and off about the game incessantly. So this is going to be very difficult it's going to be difficult for you to follow me, so let's just bear with me, okay? I'm going to be done eventually. This isn't a race against the clock or anything like that, so I'm going to be done eventually, but until I'm done, I'm afraid I'm going to have to put Donkey Kong on hold, because there's just so much to do right now. Anyway, whew! How about that overtime, folks? We almost got a full day out of that deal. Yesterday in the morning when I woke up, we were still below 35,000, so I didn't expect one bit that we'd be able to end up with 57,000, but hey, that's what happened, courtesy of some very generous donators. God bless your soul, Rick Jones. And oh yeah, King's Rock here, well, this, as I probably mentioned before, it's used for evolving certain Pokemon such as Seedra, but I'm not planning on using it for this LP, so it's just going to be another item that's going to end up in the PC. And okay, Gardevoir likes blue Pokeblocks, not that I care because I'm not planning on using it for contests, but it's sort of handy if you don't know which nature goes with which Pokeblock. This guy actually tells you which Pokeblock each Pokemon likes, and that's pretty handy, I guess, if you're not really in the know about how natures work with Pokeblocks. Oh yeah, and this woman here talks about the Space Center, and they've received a letter from Team Magma saying that they were going to go steal their rocket fuel, and at least I guess it's kind of them to actually give notice prior to them actually doing the deed, but it's probably because Team Magma knows that this Space Center has got shitty security. Seriously, just about everything that NASA owns is probably really well guarded and could hold its own against a bunch of fanatics like Team Magma. But yeah, as for the marathon, you know it's a tradition by now that someone is going to get something awful in their mouth, and this marathon's newest invention, Ghost Peppers. Yeah, they had a full bag of these, and oh, what's this building all about? Oh yeah, I remember this. This was in Fire Red and Leaf Green as well, and you can play some mini-games using wireless communication. There are 2 mini-games in all, I believe, and those are 2 pretty lame mini-games. These aren't really Pokéathlon caliber, so let's take a look at these. Pokemon Jump. Oh yeah, it's a freaking jump rope mini-game. There's nothing more thrilling than a jump rope mini-game. Oh wow. So those are the restrictions on which Pokemon can actually participate. Okay, good things happen if everyone jumps in time, and good things happen to those who pass over this minigame entirely. Dodrio berry picking. Okay, man, Dodrio's 3 heads to card catch. Falling berries, right up and left, blah 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 blah. And you must have a Dodrio. Talk about a crazy restriction. You have to have one Pokemon in particular, but then again, I understand it since it's called Dodrio Berry Pickings. So yeah, we got those high score deals. And yes, I was about to say about those Ghost Peppers, they're the hottest peppers in the world. They're supposedly 100 times hotter than jalapenos. So you sort of get an idea why no one would ever want to put that thing in their mouth. And a few of the guys actually did it. I think Paul was the first to do it, and he actually gulped it down whole. He didn't chew it or anything like that, so he didn't really feel all that bad. But the next guy, they had him chew the pepper, and he didn't feel so good for a while, but there was still no need for a paramedic as the guys were hyping it up as, so yeah, major disappointment there. I heard there was some ghost pepper shake thing going on, but I was asleep during that. Of course, I can't catch everything, can't stay awake for 180 hours plus in a row. So yeah, the ghost peppers didn't work out so well, so they turned to a classic, yeah, Vegemite. They had the local and Chase eat a sandwich with Vegemite and Spam in it, and they both puked. So yeah, can't beat the classics in terms of, you know, eating really gross things. They just couldn't take it. Wow, they actually, I wasn't there when local puked, but I saw Chase. Actually, well, he may have puked, or he may just have tried to gulp half of the sandwich in one bite and then spit it out, but it's funnier to imagine that he puked too. And it really did look very gross. I didn't know what Spam was before this marathon, but now I sure as hell know, and I'm gonna stay the hell away from that. And speaking of staying the hell away, I wish this guy would just stay away from me. It seems like I'm meeting him in every freaking town, and he's just talking about the whole Space Center ordeal and doing nothing about it, obviously. Warning letter, blah blah blah. Exactly, I don't think it concerns me in any way though. So why did the game designers even program this guy to have an appearance in this place? Oh god, I can't wait for this big plot point to come around that this guy actually runs the battle frontier so that we can be done with this guy forever. But I wasn't quite done with the whole eating aspect, because if you took notice of my favorites this week, I added a two-part video. Well, actually, it's two videos, the same thing in two parts, with Ruju and Stop, Drop, and Bear eating jelly beans. You really should check that out, because it was really hilarious, especially at the end when Bear just bolted out of the room at Mach 6. And this is the Space Center, which looks completely different than it did in Ruby and Sapphire. So for Ruby and Sapphire players, this is why you don't recognize it. They completely revamped its appearance in this game. But I was still not quite done. I still remember Oscar gulping down a whole bottle of mustard, Phil and Tyler eating 5-pound gummy bears, and the whole gummy bear thing actually sort of made me sick in my stomach. I actually had to go to the bathroom because my belly was actually hurting while I watched them eating those 5-pound gummy bears. And we got Steven here, who is actually seemingly doing something about the whole Team Magma deal, and we're actually going to fight by his side against Maxie and Tabitha later on. Oops, spoilers! And for those of you who thought Chugga Conroy was some kind of gaming god, well, you probably don't think so anymore if you caught the two epic blunders that he did while playing. The first one was in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, an improvised run with Ruju. He was the only one left during the second fight against Morton, and he beat Morton, and he actually bubbled right before getting the key, so he had to do the battle all over again. And I was like, what the hell did he just do? He bubbled after beating Morton, but he still had to pick up the key, and he bubbled? And the second one was that he actually wasted a life shroom in that battle in Paper Mario 2 against the Armored Harriers. You know how you have to run from that fight, either that or lose, but you can actually run from that fight, and Chugga didn't know that. He claimed that you really had to lose the battle, and he tried to lose the battle, and he actually wasted a life shroom that he didn't know he had on him at the time, so that was one life shroom down the drain for absolutely nothing. He could have just run away and spared that shroom, but oh well, bad things happen to those who don't pay attention to whether there or not there's that can't run from this fight notice at the beginning of the battle. But of course that doesn't trump the video I favorited of Pierre completely failing at Mario 3 like he never played that game before. Maybe he never played that game before, and I don't remember that girl being here before. Well, I'm just going to talk to her, and after that, well, screw that, I'm going to save the video right now.